Good morning, everyone, brother and sister. Welcome to Autumn Retreat in Plum Village. Can you please tell me, those of you who come for the first time in Plum Village, can you raise your hand? Quite a lot. But is your first retreat with Plum Village or Plum Village style in your country? Is you never attend here, is your first retreat? Some of you, okay, yeah. You come to the title of our community is Community Buddhist Zen Plum Village. And Zen is in fact it's become ordinary name, but in fact it's the Japanese way to call jhana. Jhana Jhana is a Sanskrit term to point out the practice offered by the Buddha from an ordinary person to be an enlightened person. And dhyana is in Sanskrit, but when the disciple of the Buddha go and transmit to Chinese people, they call chan, chan. And in Vietnam, we call Thien, Thien Na. And in Japanese, we call Zen. And in Korea, they call Sun, Sun. So it's a practice offered by the Buddha. And that practice of jhana, of chan, or of thiena have two parts. The first part, because our mind is here, our body is here, but our mind think of Paris, London, Peking, everywhere, except here, or vaguely here. And that is why the person in front of us could be our lovely daughter or our lovely son, but your mind is with your business in China, in every place, and you don't look deeper into him. And the practice, first thing the Buddha offered to us is in jhana is samatha. Samatha, it means stop to be dispersed. Stop to think of at the right, your left, in Paris, in Beijing. Stop and go back to the present moment in order to be more concentrate. Samatha. And the first part to practice is stop to be dispersed, to think of the right, the left, to different direction. But when you stop to be dispersed, you have what? My little young friend, when you have a very difficult problem of mathematics, you cannot resolve. In the past, I was very strong in math. And I can chew chewing gum, I can listen to the music, and I can resolve my math problem. But when there is a very difficult math problem, I have to stop chewing gum. I have to stop, listen to the music, very concentrate in the present moment to the problem, the question they ask me. And in deep concentration, I can have the insight of the math problem. So in life, you have so many things confusing in your head. And you need more samatha. And when you have samatha, you are less dispersed. You are more concentrated. Mindfulness is to bring your mind back to the present moment, not dispersed. Samatha. And then you see deeper your concern. You see deeper your problem. You vipassana. Vipassana is mean look deeply. And that is the only key point that we try to practice. And you come to a Zen, it means a jhana center. And normally in every tradition, jhana means you have to do sitting meditation. And in Plum Village, you sit only 20 minutes in the morning. It's not enough. It's not serious. That's true. But in fact, you are requested to do all day long, 24 hours of samatha. So sitting meditation is just initiative part for keeping your mind, go back to your in-breath and out-breath. And when you do sitting meditation, you pay attention on your in-breath and out-breath, and your mind think of, oh, I forget to give the key of my house to, no, yet, not yet. I am practicing meditation. After that, I will do it. And so breathing in, breathing out, only concentrate on your in-breath and out-breath. And half hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, your body is not born to sit 2 hours without moving. And then you start to feel itching here and hurt there. And then you say that, oh, Buddhist meditation is not my business. No, I cannot do it. But it's not true. And in Plum Village, you keep your concentration by, after sitting 20 minutes, you stand up. And usually when I guide, I ask people to make one in-breath, one step. One out-breath, one step. And to weave your breathing and your second movement. In the past, I only pay attention to my in-breath and out-breath. Now I pay attention to my in-breath and out-breath and one action. One step, in, out, out. And so I ask people to make a round in the meditation hall. So I say that train yourself to walk faster. So you walk in, out. And people walk several rounds. And I say that now you are going to be late on the plane. You have to walk quicker. But keep your samatha. Keep not to be dispersed. You know right away that you have only 5 minutes to walk to your plane. And so you walk quicker. Fast. In, out. Okay? So the whole day long here in Plum Village, you are requested, every time you move, you walk with your mind, with the in-breath and out-breath. And pay attention to the next movement. It means your step. Don't step on the hole, so break your feet. And then also try to do in the way that keep your samatha, not to be dispersed. So you go back to the present moment. But present moment, not too far. It means you are asking to peel potatoes. And you say, peel potato, but sweet potatoes in Vietnam, we don't peel like that. We boil. And so your mind starts to go far from the present moment. You should not. So the training is go back to the present moment to keep the samatha steady. It means not to be dispersed. When you peel vegetable, when you request to sweep the floor, you sweep the floor. Breathing in, I sweep the floor. Breathing out, I sweep the floor. And I do it in the present moment. And by doing samatha only, some of your difficulty, small difficulty, with your colleague in the office suddenly reveal, she didn't look at me. But when you are more concentrated, you didn't try to think of her, but you said, I remember when I first came, I thank her a lot for helping me that, but nowadays I'm so good and I forget to thank her. And I remember last time when I thank her, she's so pleased. So you remember, okay, the better relationship is I have to thank her from time to time of her quality in order to make her happier. And thanks to that, the little difficulty start to undo. And then you have a big problem with your son, and then you don't try to think, but you live in the present moment when you are chopping vegetable, when you are walking, when you are driving the car. People ask you to drive the car from here to New Hamlet. Live in the present moment and try not to think of Paris or Beijing. And in the present moment, in front of you is any car, behind of you there is any car, on the left side, on the right side. Live only in the present moment. And you practice samatha all day long, 24 hours, not just 2 hours in the meditation. So I remember that is everything we have done here is not new. In many monasteries in China, in Vietnam, many masters. I remember one Chinese master I met first time, contemporary Chinese master, Master Tịnh Nhân. And he answered to many of us, he said that, I become a monk because my grandpa said that you must become a monk. In the temple, you just only break the teapot and you get enlightened. And that is attract me a lot. And I want to become a monk in a monastery, and one day I may break the teapot and I get enlightenment. In fact, when your concentration is deep, when you sweep the floor, when you chop the vegetable, when you chop the wood, you carry the water in the present moment, and at the right moment where the teapot broke, you get enlightened. But not because the teapot broke that you get enlightenment. And some other teachers said that, in other monastery, he see that there is one master, when he chopped the wood, he only have one duty to chop the wood. But one day he chopped the wood and he get enlightened, and the second chopping, the second inside, the third inside, the sixth paramita inside, and so on. So that is because the concentration is deep enough. So now you come here just for 20 minutes of sitting in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening, but during the day you practice samatha all day long. Okay? Don't waste your time. And 1 week is a lot. 1 week. Because at home you know in advance. But at home you do it and then many things pull you away. And your daughter asks something, it's so urgent, you cannot say that no. And then your partner, and then the telephone ring, and so many things. And so you here is 1 week without telephone. But there is a telephone. But when the bell ring, you practice samatha again. Because normally you practice samatha, it means stopping to think of many other things in order to cultivate your concentration. But you are breathing, calming, relaxing, and then your mind think that, oh, that beautiful flower. Oh, in my home, I really want to have that, but I cannot find. And then you start to think of, oh, I will ask the sister where she can find that flower, and so on. And then the bell ring, and then you go back to the in breath and out breath. No, don't think of any flower. Now I go back to the present moment. And I notice that next time when I see the sister later on, but go back to the present moment. And then at home, there is no bell to ring for you. So your telephone. When your telephone ring, try not to jump right away. Go back to your in breath and out breath and calm yourself. And then you open your telephone and you answer. So you are at least have 1 or 2 in breath and calming yourself. And after that, you act. So there is a little boy who used to make fun of us. He said that when the bell ring, you have to stop. So when the bell ring, he opened his mouth for some sandwich, and he make fun of us a little bit. He practiced, but he make fun a little bit. But that when he go home and he wrote to me a letter, oh, I make fun of many of you, but I'm sorry, but now it's helped me. Because I was reading in the courtyard, not during the class, and somebody go by my back kicked me very strongly. I know some karate, I'm ready to fight him. But when I turn, breathing in, breathing out, he's too tall. And maybe I cannot win. And then, okay, I run to see the teacher in order to tell the teacher to help me, but I will not fight him back. So you see, the ringing of the bell, stop at the inappropriate time, is for helping you. Don't despise it. And the telephone ring. And so when you get used and then the birds sing, you stop and you enjoy the present moment. Maybe you are thinking of many beautiful projects and you totally forget the present moment. The autumn is also very beautiful. The start to have yellow, orange leaf, so wonderful. And so that is the practice of samatha in order to vipassana. And vipassana, it means to look deeply to see the root of your difficulty with your son or your difficulty with your partner in the office of the work. There is so many complicating. And many, according to the Buddha, many of our perception, we perceive the situation in a very superficial way. And on our perceiving, on our perception are only very superficial. And the Buddha used to illustrate like that. When you look at somebody, you have an idea of that somebody, you perceive that somebody. 90%, he didn't say person, but he said that your perception is always partial, not saying erroneous. Like when you are blind and you try to perceive the reality of the elephant and you touch at the four legs of the elephant, you are so sure that the elephant is like four pillars. But the person in other side, also blind like you, but she touched the ear of the elephant. She said, "What you say? The elephant is like the four pillar? No, it's flat and tender." And because she or he touched the ear of the elephant, and other person touched the defense. No, the elephant is quite different. And other person touched the tail of elephant. No, the elephant is like the broom. And all are correct, but partially correct, not totally correct. And you can fall in love with your partner, and for you, the elephant is four legs. But then one day, he revealed his ear, which is not like four legs, and you are very shocked. Oh, I'm full. He was so kind, but now he betrayed me, and so on. And other person with touch, and then you present the case to your parents, and your father see, no, he's so kind, and the father see other side of him, and your mom see other side of him. All we need to look deeper. And the answer to all these things, I request you to be humble of what you see and what you hear. Even you hear, you see clearly, be humble. In medicine, many doctors also say that even you are so sure that that person have that disease, don't be so sure. Check it again. So you need to check it again. And when you are not so sure, you are shocked, and you check in a very irritating way. Why you do like that to me? And then the other person, yes, I do like that. And they don't care because they are shocked by your not very kind face. In the past, she feels so, you were so lovely. And every time you ask her something, you ask in a loving kindness. But now you are shocked. Why you do like that? And she said, okay, I am like that. And then that's the end of communication. So please promise to me, when you come to this retreat, even for one day talk today, promise me that when you are angry, don't show your ugly face to anyone, even your colleague, even your partner, even your son, your daughter. Try to go back to your in breath and out breath and in breath and out breath. And if the other person continue to miscommunicate with you and say wrong thing, you say that I will speak to you later, and you stand up and you walk in, out, 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 and you totally with your in breath, totally with your out breath, totally with your in breath, totally with your out breath, and you walk about 5 steps, and you remember, how come that he can misunderstood me in that way? And then you say that not yet, not yet. Go back to your in breath and out breath until you feel less angry. You practice vipassana later on. And you say that, oh, I'm still angry. If I come to him or to her and I said, why you behave like that? My face will be ugly. And maybe it's not inspire her to tell me. So don't show your ugly face until you feel very peaceful, very loving, and try to remember what is wonderful in the other person. She has been so wonderful like that. He has been so wonderful like that. You remember all the good things. And then, however, what happened to me recently with her behavior shocked me a lot. So you have to come to her, remember how wonderful she was, or how wonderful he was, and even remind verbally, you were so wonderful like that, like that. But 2 days ago, you said something very strange, and it hurt me deeply, and I don't know what happened. Could you please tell me why you behave in such a way? I expect you to be like that, but you be other side, and you even say a very strong word to hurt me a lot. And then if you ask in a very humble way, the person said that you feel hurt. It's normal. And then because his education is different from your education, and you expect, for instance, you expect when you are sick, you feel a big cold, and usually in your family, your mom to say that, oh, my poor darling, I will make a hot soup porridge with ginger, with coriander, with pepper for you, and you eat that hot soup, it's cool you down, and it will be wonderful. And you expect when you have a headache and get a cold and miserable, and your partner must do like that because for you it's normal because you are trained in your family. But she said that, oh, don't be lazy. Take some Tylenol, it's good. And she do it in a cool way, and it shocked you a lot. So you said that you wait until don't show your ugly face until calm. I expect you to make a porridge hot with some ginger and some coriander for me. But why you say in a very cool way? It's hurt me a lot. And then he will be surprised. Oh, it's hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, normally your mom do like that. Okay, I will try to learn to do the porridge like your mom have done. That's okay. That's gone. But if you are shocked and you say, oh, it's not the person I wait for. She's so cold and so unkind to me. So it's happened like that in many relationships because your perception is in that side, and he behaved partly like you said, other partly according to his education. And that is why we have to be very humble of our perception. One day in a psychotherapist retreat in United States, I'm in the group of lead by Thai, giving Dharma talk by Thai. I was divided in the group of a number of psychotherapists, psychiatrists, very big name, and a few of them appreciate the teaching of Thai. I noticed that in my group there is one man, tall. He looked very intellectual, but he looked at everyone. And one lady said that also wonderful to talk, and other man said that also wonderful. He kept silent and very judging for me. And I think that he's not happy with this retreat. The day after, people appreciate Thais again. He again keep very cool. And the third day, the fourth day is when we are. The fifth day will be the end of the retreat. He came to me. He said that, may I have the sheet of paper to fill up my 5 mindfulness training? I want to take 5 mindfulness training. I was so shocked because the way he judged me, he judged everyone. I was so shocked. You like it? You like the teaching? Why not? I like every word. But he looked so cool and so difficult, and so and so I didn't expect him to be so receptive. He said, "Yes, I love everything, and even when you explain in the group, it's so wonderful." I was so shocked because the way I explained, he looked in a very difficult way, and that is the wrong perception I have about him. And so that is in your life. Sometimes you feel that your colleague is not good, and he tried to, and then something wrong in your work, and you think that he tried to sabotage. Maybe it's totally wrong. So you have to calm yourself, offer the best of your loving kindness, and approach him and say that, well, you look not very happy when you look at me. Is anything I have done wrong? I have done that is shock you? Please, I'm ready to listen to you. And at that moment, you are prepared. And then he said something, and you listen, and he said something very strange. It shocked you. Try to take note without stopping him. That is deep listening. When you understand, in order to love somebody, you need to understand. But how you can understand without listening to him or to her? So you have, from time to time, you have to ask your partner or your son or your daughter or your colleague. You say that, I appreciate you a lot. You have that. However, I don't know if I understood you enough. If anything that I don't understand you enough, could you please tell me? I need to understand you better to make you happier. Because usually I thought that I offer that for you to be happy, but you throw it away. There is one mother who thought that the birthday of her daughter, she will offer a beautiful dress, a red dress she saw in the vitrine in the city. It's very expensive. She saved money to buy that big dancing dress for her daughter. But when the daughter looked, that is for you, mom. It's not for me. She chases it away. And she said, I asked you to give me a blue jean, and you refuse. And you only give me that. I don't like it. That is, the dress is for you, not for me. So when you understand somebody, you offer somebody, you have to offer what she like or what he like, not offer things that he don't like Tylenol instead of hot porridge, like a beautiful dancing dress instead of the blue jean she wears. She, she. So you have to ask from time to time, do I understand you enough in order to fulfill, to realize your deep wish of my behavior, and I will be happier. So that is, I really need you not to forget. I will end by other things, but before that, I want, if you only come for one time, I don't want to miss the sharing of hugging meditation. Hugging meditation is our Thai teacher, our Thich Nhat Hanh, our teacher, when he came to the West. And a lot of American friends who helped him a lot to organize meeting, conference, and there is a family of that professor who is so loving and take good care of him. And before, the husband have to go for the work and say goodbye, hug Thai, and go. But then the wife of this professor have to bring him to the airport. And when she brought him to the airport, she looked at him. She really want to hug him. But she said, can I hug you? And he said, why not? And he said, I'm a Zen master. I have to let her hug. But he was like a lock. And he hugged. And then after that, he feels so bad on the plane. He said that I have to learn Western tradition. When they depart, they hug. But sometimes in the West, we don't hug mindfully. You hug somebody, other place, they say, no, in Belgium it's 3 times. But they do it like a machine. They don't really hug. And Thai said that we hug, we have to do it in mindfulness. Mindfulness is your body, your mind, everything should be one. And then you look at the other person deeply. I look at you deeply, but I have nothing here. So you look at somebody deeply and you start to say, in a very short moment, but you see the past, the present, the future of that person. How you know her, how you understand her, how you appreciate her until it's so precious. And then you hug, open your arm, and breathing in. I'm so fortunate to have her in my arm, or I'm so fortunate to have him in my arm. And it's what I thought. And there is a professor of psychotherapies who came. Con ẩm nó đi, ẩm nó đi. So there is a professor of psychotherapists who went back from Denver. The retreat was in Denver. He went back to Chicago. And when he arrived to Chicago, and his wife, who had been with him for 30 years, wait for him at the airport. And he didn't hug her right away. He looked at her deeply. That woman that I have met 30 years ago, and she has so many difficulties to be able to abandon her country. She was from South America, abandon her country, abandon her career, and she stay here and she marry me. And so in a very short moment, but he feel all this great gratitude of that woman. And he opened his arm and he hugged her deeply, happily. So wonderful that he can have that treasure in his arm. And his wife was so deeply moved too, but so shocked. Why? You hug me in such a way. And he said that is hugging meditation. Hugging, but meditation? Yes. Who taught you? In the past, you never hugged me like that. And he's a monk, a Buddhist monk. A monk? A Buddhist monk taught you in that way? Yes. And that is a Buddhist monk who taught me to hug deeply. I see you, that young lady, 30 years ago, fell in love with me, and I fell in love with you. And we overcame so many difficulties. It's so wonderful to have you in my arm. I'm so happy. If something happened to you, I would die. Or if something happened to me, maybe you have difficulty to survive. How wonderful that we are together. And such hugging meditation is so deep. And you can do it right away. You don't need to practice so many years in order to hug your mom, your daddy, or your sister, or your partner, or your wife. And especially if you have a son that you have difficulty to communicate, you only need to hug him. Hug deeply, and all your love will transmit to him, and he know that you really love. And after that, you can share, and that is so important. And one day, I met I we led a retreat in Japan, 6 days. And at the last day of the retreat, the Prime Minister of Japan decided to visit one spiritual group, and he sent his wife to another group, is our group. And the wife of the Prime Minister come to our retreat, and only for one day. And Thầy Pháp Đăng give a good talk, but I said that even good talk, she will forget. I will share to her hugging meditation is what I just shared to you. And so I said that tonight when you go home, don't say anything about the Buddhist or the practice of mindfulness in Fuji Mountain where you attend. You just look at him deeply, that young man that you have met 20 years ago, and how you fell in love with him, and how you overcame together so many difficulties, and now you hug that man with all his love, his care, on the responsibility in his shoulder, political difficulty, social difficulty. And she cried. She said, so wonderful teaching. I will do it for my husband surely tonight. And then I will hug my mom also. I will hug my sister too. It's so wonderful. And then our sister Trai Nghiêm met her several months later. Trai Nghiêm did ask, do you still do hugging meditation? Every night, every day, I hug. And so I wish that you can hug your beloved one, even your brother, sister, but hug in mindfulness. Don't hug in a very casual way. But the last thing I want to share to you is a very deep meditation I still practice. I'm not successful yet, but I try my best. I remember that during the many years, I tried to help Vietnam hungry children. And when there is a typhoon and destroy many thousand, 100,000 houses, I raise a lot of money I sent to Vietnam, and still is not enough. But one day I hear that there is a big typhoon who come from Philippines. It will arrive to Vietnam in 3 days. And I said that 3 days we still have time to practice loving kindness. I know that in Vietnam, millions of people are praying Avalokiteshvara, Kuan Yin, Mother of Jesus, Maria, and everyone in different tradition, they try to pray. And my prayer is only one. So I sit down and I send my deep concentration in breath and out breath and in breath, and I calm my whole body, and I call my agitating mind, and I try to touch the deep source of understanding and love in me. This is the source of Avalokiteshvara in me. I try to touch deeply, deeply Avalokiteshvara in me, and then I will send above, and I know that there is many Avalokiteshvara in the sky, in the universe, and also Avalokiteshvara in many prayer of people in Vietnam, in this province, and they are coming up, and they make a big umbrella and they embrace, and I feel that all this energy will go and push the typhoon go to the high sea instead of go to the coast. And I pray and I practice, and I cannot sit 3 days. So the whole 3 days, I continue to practice walking Avalokiteshvara in me, go up to sky, join all the Avalokiteshvara energy everywhere, and send to the typhoon push the typhoon to the ocean, and it's gone to the ocean. At the end of the typhoon, is touched on the little part of the Cà is very south, and normally they have to sweep 8 or 9 provinces in Vietnam, and they only reach a little part. It's nothing. And so nowadays, when I hear the terrorists who kill a lot in the terrorist car in Nice on the Independence Day of France, 14 juillet, they run and they kill a lot of people. And here in that theater, they shoot people on that stadium. They shoot people. It's too confusing, and I don't know what to do. And that prayer is not enough. I try to think in other way. And I remember that there is 2,600 years, the Buddha and his monastic came to a big forest to prepare for rain retreat. In rain retreat, they will not go anywhere, and they stay in one spot, and they practice sitting meditation, and then they only go to beg for food, and they go back, and they also practice the whole 3 months without moving to go to visit any house, to give any retreat, to give any Dhamma talk. They only practice in the forest. But the monastic report to the Buddha, no, we cannot stay here, Buddha. It's so unsafe. We feel that there is a spirit of very violent and very scaring around. And like the spirit are fighting spirit, they are fighting us, it's not safe at all, and we don't want to stay here. And the Buddha asked everyone to sit down, and he guided. Breathing in, I calm agitation in my head, my fear, my worries. I calm my whole body, my whole, every part of my body. Breathing out, I relax. Breathing in, may the energy of understanding of love cover my whole body. And then breathing out, I relax. And you only pay attention to your in-breath and the energy of compassion, of loving kindness, of maitri, of karuna, of mudita, of upekkha is four foundation of mindfulness, of unlimited love. And the Buddha guide them to do like that. And after that, the Buddha asked them to send their good energy they just obtained from their body and mind to the person in front of them. And may the person in front of me have no difficulty at all, have safe, will be transcend the difficulty in their life, and may they will be safe, happy, and then they send energy to people on the left, and all people in the left, or spirit in the left, those who are born, those who are not born yet, to be safe. I think that the text is here. I better read for you. May all living beings live in security and peace. Beings who are frail or strong, beings who are tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far, already born or yet to be born, may all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Just as a mother loves and protects her only child at the risk of her own life, we should cultivate boundless love to offer to all living beings in the entire cosmos. Let our boundless love pervade the whole universe, above, below, and across. Our love will know no obstacle. Our heart were absolutely free from hatred and enmity. And then after, when standing or walking, sitting or lying, as long as we are awake, we should maintain this mindfulness of love in our own heart, free from wrong view, greed, living in beauty, and realize perfect understanding. And everyone practice like that during the day, walking, standing, go to the village to ask for some food, go back, and they do it steadily. And also, I think that I will ask those who send the good energy to those who are victims of terrorists in France, in Germany, in Belgium, in everywhere. And then you send also your loving energy to the terrorists themselves. Why? Because they are terrorists because they have been victim of their wrong view. They may thought that you are a snake when you are only a rope. That is a perception the Buddha used to say that. Sometimes he used the illustration of the elephant, but he used also the illustration of the snake. Sometimes you look like a rope, but people thought that you are a snake and they want to kill you at any price. And when you dead already and they realize that you are not a snake. And sometimes we are so angry at someone and we make all our possible to chase him away, to chase her, to make her miserable. But one day you realize that you make a big mistake. And so I know that many terrorists have a very wrong information about the West. I have read a report, I have seen a report by some report in Arab country. And the day where the Twin Tower in United States have collapsed. In United States, everybody hate the terrorists and said that hate on the Arab country or on the Muslim. They are so worried. And in that report I have seen, all the Muslim or the Arab boy have been born, they have the name Usama. It means the first name of Bin Laden. That they feel that the responsible of the terrorists. And so they believe, many terrorists believe that they work, they explode the bomb and they kill the whole bus and they kill themselves because they will go directly to see Allah, to see God. They feel that they are doing good job. They don't think that they are bad because they have wrong perception. They thought that we are demon, we are snake, and they need to kill all the snake who are we, but we are not snake. We are on the rope, and then they are ready to kill the twin tower. 4,000 people die, and they think that after the plane explodes, they die, and they fly directly to see Allah, to see God, the Almighty God. That is their wrong perception. And we here in the West, I remember I was in United States at that moment. All my good American friends said that, do you believe on demon, on evil? I said, why? Because you say on these demon who do all these terrible things. And of course, I don't know. I know that this wrong perception, but it's so obvious and I have no word to explain. But I know that there is a lot of misperception. So in my prayer, I pray for the victim of the terrorist, but I also pray for the terrorists not to have that misperception, for their mind to be clearer and to see much better. And it's what I try to do since 14th of July until now. Every time I have some time free, not to do other business people request me to do, I always try to think in that peaceful way. And I wish that we all, if you listen like that, and if you have any spare time, you send the good energy to those who are victim of the terrorists who are there to suffer, but you also send your good energy to them for their mind to be clearer and not to be in a wrong direction. That I can do. But most difficult thing is those who are close to you and those who really cause you, because the terrorist is still far away and you are not caught in the, you are not victim yet, you are not in the hospital yet, but sometimes close to you, and they look like very naughty, and they misunderstood you in very wrong way, and you try hard to explain, she didn't want to listen, but maybe the way you explain is so very rough and very strong, and she didn't want to hear. But if you are more calm, more peaceful, more loving, maybe she or he can hear. And that is my practice. I still practice. And I want to share to you that practice because it's so important. That for your happiness, for my happiness, and for the happiness of the world. And send, when you have some free time, send your good energy of loving kindness to yourself, to calm yourself, to have your clearest mind, to send your good energy to those around you, in front of you, on the left, on the side. It's not easy. There is some rat in some of our area, and if we don't exterminate the rat, they will close the center. But I'm trying to persuade the rat to go away. I said that may you be safe and you find other place to be safer than to go to our place. Because if our center will be closed, and then you will not be safe anyway. And, and it's not easy. But we try our best to find a way. And I wish that all of us, it's our practice. And please remember samatha for your whole week here. And continue samatha vipassana when you leave Plum Village. Thank you.